வணக்கம் நண்பர்களே, இது உங்களை வீர பழனிசாமி. நம்ம சிவில் சர்வீஸ் எக்ஸாம் 2023-24 இன்டர்வியூ டிரான்ஸ்கிரிப்ட் பார்த்துட்டு இருக்கோம். அந்த மாதிரி ஒரு ஸ்டூடெண்ட்டோட இன்டர்வியூ பார்க்க போகிறோம். இன்ஃபேக்ட் அது நம்ம பார்த்ததுலே ஒரு பெரிய கொஸ்டின் லிஸ்ட் இருக்குது. நம்ம குயிக்காக கேள்வி மட்டும் பார்ப்போம். அப்போ தான் நம்மளால் 10 நிமிஷம் முன்னாடி முடிக்க முடியும். போர்டு வந்து லெஃப்டினன்ட் ஜெனரல் ராஜ் சுக்லா, 12th January 2024. ஆப்ஷனல் வந்து எக்கனாமிக்ஸ். கீவேர்ட்ஸ் வந்து SRCC, ஸ்ரீராம் காலேஜ் ஆஃப் காமர்ஸ், DSC, தென் உமன் ரைட்ஸ், ஹைதராபாத், ரோலர் ஸ்கேட்டிங், செஸ், எடிட்டர் இன் மேகசின், மார்னிங், ஃபஸ்ட்டு டு கோ. மார்னிங் 12th முதல் நாள் இந்த அம்மா போயிருக்காங்க. ஓகே, பார்க்கலாம். சேர்மனுடைய கேள்வி. வேர் ஆர் யூ ஃப்ரம்? வாட் இஸ் யுவர் கிராஜுவேஷன் சப்ஜெக்ட்? வேர் டிட் யூ கிராஜுவேட் ஃப்ரம்? தென் டெப்ட். In many countries, debt is rising. What is your opinion about it? And considering you an economist, so developed countries should not be considered about debt. ஸோ இவங்க ஏதோ கேள்வி கேட்டிருக்காங்க, பதில் சொன்னதில் வேறு ஒரு டிஃப்ரென்ஸ் இருக்குது. அந்த மாதிரி இந்த கேள்வி வந்திருக்கு. இந்த பதில் மறுபடியும். வாட் அபவுட் டெவலப்டு நேஷன்ஸ்? US debt. USA has a very high debt, but it's not concerned about it. Why do you think so? Do you also think that military of US plays a major role for being a great economy? என்ன அர்த்தம் உங்களுக்கு புரிஞ்சிருக்கும். So talk about how US forced Saudi to sell oil in exchange of military. Then question was, so it is military power that is making USA a strong economy. I differed from this opinion and gave Russia's example. Sir cracked a joke. Let's kill Americans first. We'll deal with the Soviets later. Quite interesting. நிறைய கேள்விகள். Russia, it has a reckless military policy. Its economy is not strong. Why does it not care about it? Does it not fear of economic consequences of military actions? What is GDP of Russia? Let's talk about Middle East. What is your opinion about Iran? Why it is violating basic principles of economics? How does Iran dare to violate US sanctions and still continue to fund its proxies? What is the aim of Iran? Why it's funding Hamas, Hezbollah and Houthis? We have seen recently increased attacks in Red Sea region, and also China is following its aggressive military policy against India. Do you think India's defense allocation in budget is enough to deal with it? I told the defense budget is increasing. Sir disagreed with me. So let's see. Chairman கேள்விச்சுக்காரன் பார்ப்போம். Yes. How should India deal with these threats? What should it do in terms of economics? Do you think technology can substitute manpower in military? Sir agreed with the answer and gave example of Ukraine. ஸோ இப்போ தான் முடியுது. அடுத்து மெம்பர் 1 பார்க்கலாம். மெம்பர் 1ஓட கேள்வி அப்படின்னு பார்ப்போம். In your opinion, what should be the ideal share of direct taxes and indirect taxes and tax revenue? So, direct taxes should be higher or indirect taxes to be higher, and anyway. There is a demand that income tax should be abolished. What is your opinion? Quite interesting. Are we not imposing burden on corporates? We have corporate tax and also capital gains tax. Or these both duplicate each other? Is there any cascading effect in them? Shall the capital gains tax to be abolished? I said no. How do you justify your stand? நம்ம வந்து டிஃபர் ஆன்சர் பண்ணலாம். அதுக்கு நம்ம எக்ஸ்பிளேஷன் கொடுத்தோன்னா போர்டு will agree. In GST, violating the federal structure in India has not been taken in the right of the states. In USA, states have different tax laws and they have ultimate taxing powers. In India, there is an integrated tax. Why? Which fiscal federalism is stronger? What is the share of states in the GST council? Has any resolution been passed that required voting in council? What is share of union in GST council? What is the majority required to pass a decision? Any reforms that you suggest GST council? I said consensus. Then consensus cannot be law. So how will you enforce it? நிறைய கேள்விகள். Number 2. What is the current employment situation in India? What there mean unemployment? Why there is an unemployment? Though we have a growing, it's not growing at a faster rate. How do you import skills? Despite several skills initiatives, the skills are not being improved and the gap is not being closed. Why it's taking so long? So, why are you interested in writing about women rights? How will blocking help changing the family thinking? Because what is society? It's bunch of families. What do you do write about? There are many cybercrimes happening in the country. Why are police not able to prevent it? Why are they happening? Is our cybercrime law is not strong? Women in agriculture economy. Agriculture is very, India is an agriculture economy. Agriculture is very important for us. We cannot ignore, hence the government introduced farm laws, but there were so many protests. Why did they happen? Why are the middlemen so strong in India, especially in the rural markets? Agreed that it's a sad stage of agriculture. Despite achieving high literacy rates, the culture of dowry still exists, especially in the states like Andhra and Telangana. Why do you think? How can we bring change in the dowry culture? Number 3. How can budget be used to empower women? What kind of intervention do we need in budget? Is gender budgeting derived from the budget or it is compiled before the budget? What are the components of gender budgeting? I said I am not aware of. She asked me to guess. Does gender budgeting be done in all areas? Where do we need to intervene? You are constructing a road and bridge. Can you be made part of your gender budgeting? Samagraha Siksha Abhiyan. What kind of schemes the government has introduced just to sake of women? You have written this magazine in your college. How did COVID-19 impact your ability to write a magazine? What about your master's course? Was it impacted by COVID? Can you remember the articles in Constitution that relate to allocation of business? How does the government allocate business? In USA, we have seen one or other day there is a shooting. Why? Why are gun law a problem in USA? What is its significance? Finally, number 4. In Hyderabad, the question, what else do we have other than biryani? Why do we introduce CAA lead to protest? What was the driving force for this protest? Does CAA take rights of Indian Muslims? What are the concerns with the law? What is NRC? We have seen many developments in technology recently. Can you tell me about latest development in economics? I talked about RCT. So, Pakla. So, how can RCT be used? What is Abhijit Banerjee's theory? Give me an example how it's worked out on ground. Anything that you know. The last question. I think no questions are there. Gossip picked up from RCT answer. And word of mouth is better way of spreading news. That's not something new, isn't it? Then she agreed. Saudi and dollar exchange rate is always constant. Why? Do you think they have any agreement on this? In fact, the full feedback in fact, one of the long questions, மொத்தம் 40-50 கொஸ்டின்ஸ் ஒவ்வொரு மெம்பர் 10-15 கேள்விகள். ஸோ இந்த இன்டர்வியூ எப்படி போச்சுன்னு தெரில. இட்ஸ் அ கேர்ள். ஸோ ஹவுஸ் ஹி ஆன்சர்ட். இன்ஃபேக்ட் நல்லா ஆன்சர் பண்ணியிருந்தாங்கன்னா நிறைய மதிப்பெண் கிடைக்க வாய்ப்பு இருக்குது. இட்ஸ் ஆல் ரைட். ஸோ தேங்க்யூ வெரி மச். இதே மாதிரி இன்னொரு வீடியோவோட இன்னொரு கொஸ்டின் ஆன்சரோட மீண்டும் சந்திப்போம். மிக்க நன்றி.
வீடியோ உங்களுக்கு பிடிச்சிருந்தா லைக் பண்ணுங்க, ஷேர் பண்ணுங்க, சப்ஸ்கிரைப் பண்ணுங்க, கமெண்ட் பண்ணுங்க, பெல் ஐக்கன் பிரஸ் பண்ண மறந்து போயிடாதீங்க. அப்பதான் நாங்கள் போஸ்ட் பண்ற வீடியோவோட நோட்டிஃபிகேஷன் உங்களுக்கு வரும்.